Hello students, welcome to the Dipti Bridgewell School's digital learning classes. Here we are learning Computer of Class 8 from Rahul sir.
Advanced MS Excel 2010. Formula. A formula consists of various cell references. Using mathematical operators on numerical data, we can perform calculations. Formulas start with an equal to sign. Let's understand formula by an example. Type 10 in cell B1 and 20 in cell B2. Type the formula in B cell 3 as is equals to B1 plus B2. Now cell B3 will contain 30, which is the sum of 10 and 20. Let's take another example to find the sum of 30 and 40. We will enter 30 in cell D1 and 40 in cell D2. Write formula in cell D3 as is equals to D1 plus D2. Now cell D3 will contain 70, which is the sum of 30 and 40. Types of formula. Formulae are of the three types. Basics. Formula having single mathematical operator like formula for performing addition, subtraction, multiplication and division is equals to B1 plus B2. Let's enter the value of cell B1 as 10 and B2 as 20. Write formula in cell B3 as is equals to B1 plus B2 and 30 will appear in cell B3. Compound. Formula having more than one mathematical operator like formula for calculating simple interest is equals to B1 into B2 into B3 by 100. Now enter 10 in cell B1, 20 in B cell 2 and 30 in B3. Now write the formula in cell B4 as is equals to B1 into B2 into B3 by 100, and it will be multiply the value of cells B1, B2 and B3 and divide the result by 100. We will receive 60 as a final output. Text. Formula used for joining two or more strings by using and sign is equals to quote unquote I and symbol quote unquote am and symbol quote unquote a good boy. Cell referencing. Let's talk about cell referencing. Sometimes while writing a formula, we select a range of cell addresses. The cell referencing refers to the range of cell addresses which we use while writing formula. Let's understand this by an example. That is, we have the following values. C1 is equals to 1, C2 is equals to 2, C3 is equals to 3, C4 is equals to 4, C5 is equals to 5, C6 is equals to 6, C7 is equals to 7, C8 is equals to 8, C9 is equals to 9, C10 is equals to 10, and A1 is equals to 2. Now type formula in cell E5. is equals to sum C1 is to C10 into 100 plus A1. Let's understand the term used in this formula. In the above formula, we have selected C1 is to C10, which is a range of cell addresses. Sum is the name of the function. A1 is the cell reference of a single cell. Multiplied plus are the mathematical operators. There are three types of cell referencing. Relative referencing. In relative referencing, whenever we copy a formula from one cell to another cell, the value of the formula always changes with the reference to the new cell. Relative referencing is very useful when we need to repeat the same calculation across multiple rows or columns. Let's understand it with the same example. We enter 10 in cell B1. We enter 20 in cell B2. Write formula in cell B3 as is equals to B1 plus B2, and 30 will appear in cell B3. Now enter 30 in cell BD1. Enter 40 in cell D2. Now if we will copy the formula of cell B3 in cell D3, it automatically changes to is equals to D1 plus D2. Cell D3 changes the value according to cell D1 and D2 with relation to cell D3. Finally, we receive output as 70 in cell D3. Similarly, if we will copy the formula of cell B3 in cell E3, and it automatically changes to is equals to E1 plus E2. Cell E3 changes the value according to cell E1 and E2 will with relation to cell E3. Absolute referencing. Absolute referencing is needed when we do not want the formula to change when copied from one cell to another. Absolute referencing is done by using $sign. Let's understand it with an example. Enter 10 in cell B1. Enter 20 in cell B2. Now we will write is equals to $B, $1 plus $B, $2. It will display the sum of cells B1 and B2. Now enter 30 in cell D1. Enter 40 in cell D2. Now if we copy the same formula of cell B3 in cell D3, it will display sum of cell B1 and B2 instead of cell D1 and D2. The value of the formula does not change because of absolute referencing. Similarly, if the same formula is copied at cell F10, it will still display sum of cell B1 and B2 instead of is equals to F8 plus F9. Mixed referencing. Sometimes to write a formula, we use both relative and absolute referencing. This is called mixed referencing. Let us understand it with an example. Enter 10 in cell B1. Enter 20 in cell B2. In cell B3, we will type is equals to $B1 plus $2. This will fix the column as B in B1 and row 2 in B2. Now enter 30 in cell D1 and 40 in cell D2. Now if you copy the same formula of cell B3 in cell D3, it will be copied as is equal $B1 plus $2. Here the output is 50 in cell D3, which is the sum of B1 and D2, that is 10 and 40. Similarly, if the same formula is copied at cell F10, it will copy formula as is equals to $B8 plus F$2. It is because column B in B1 will be fixed and 1 is relative to 10, so it will become 8. Similarly, B in B$2 will change to F$2 because B will relatively change to F10 and $2 will be fixed. Renaming a seat tab. By default, 3 seats named as Seat 1, Seat 2 and Seat 3 are displayed in MS Excel. We can rename this seat as per our convenience. To rename a sheet, simply right click on the name of the seat. Here, Seat 1. Now select Rename from the list that appears. Type the new name and press Enter key. Type a new name for the seat as example and press the Enter key. Changing the color of seat tab. We can also change the color of seat tab. To change the color of the seat tab, right click on the seat tab, for example Sheet 1, and select Tab Color option. Click on the color that we want to fill, for example red color. Implementing some common functions. Sum. It adds a set of number or a series of cells is equals to sum number 1, number 2 and so on. Here number 1, number 2 are arguments which refers to different numbers, cell addresses or cell range that can be entered. We can do it in different ways. We will type is equals to sum 8, 16, 5 in any cell, for example B2 cell. We will receive output as 29. Let's enter C1 is equals to 2, D2 is equals to 3 and E8 is equals to 4. We will type is equals to sum C1, D2 and E8 in cell E9 and the data in cell C1, D2, E8 will be added. We will receive output as 9, which is the sum of cell C1, D2 and E8. Let's type A1 is equals to 1, A2 is equals to 2, A3 is equals to 3, A4 is equals to 4, A5 is equals to 5, A6 is equals to 6 and A7 is equals to 7. We will type is equals to sum A1 is to A7 in cell A8 and all the data in cell A1 to A7 will be added. Now we will receive output as 28, which is the sum of all the data in cell A1 to A7. 2. Product. It is used to multiply all the given numbers, is equals to product number 1, number 2, and so on. Here, number 1, number 2 are arguments which refers to different numbers, cell addresses or cell range that can be entered. For example, we type D2 is equals to 2, I4 is equals to 3, J1 is equals to 4. We will type is equals to product D2, I4, J1 in cell D5, and the data in cells D2, I4 and J1 will be multiplied. We will receive final output as 24, which is the multiplication of D2, I4 and J1. Type B4 is equals to 2, B5 is equals to 3, B6 is equals to 4, B7 is equals to 5, and B8 is equals to 6. We will type is equals to product B4 is to B8 in cell B9, and it will multiply all the data in cell B4 to B8. We will receive final output as 720, which is the multiplication of values in cell range B4 to B8. 3. Quotient. It is used to find quotient when one number is divided by another number, is equals to quotient numerator denominator. Here numerator is a number or a cell address that is to be divided. Denominator is a number or cell address by which numerator is to be divided. For example, type D1 is equals to 6 and C5 is equals to 2. We will type is equals to quotient D1 C5 in cell E5, and the data in cell D1 will be divided by data in cell C5, and quotient will be the outcome. We will receive final output as 3. Here 6 is the numerator and 2 is the denominator. 4. Power. It is used to calculate the value of number raised to a power, is equals to power number power. Here number is any number or a cell address can be entered. Power is any number or a cell address can be entered. For example, we will type is equals to power 3, 2 in any cell, for example B2 cell. It will provide output as 9. Let's type C1 is equals to 2. We will type power is equals to power 5, C1 in cell C2. The output is 5 raised to the power of data in cell C1 will be displayed. Now we will receive final output as 25. Autosum. We can insert the most commonly used functions by using autosum. For example, sum, average, count, max, and mean. For this, the data needs to be organized row-wise or column-wise. In the case data is entered row-wise, then click on the cell to the right of the cell where you Inserted last data. If the data is inserted column-wise, then select the cell below the last cell where you inserted last data. Here are the steps to select common functions using the Autosum commands. Click on the Formula tab. Press to open the Autosum drop-down menu. Choose the function to be used from the list. Excel automatically uses the select functions and range of data. The range of data selected is the row or column in which data has been entered. We can change the range by pressing the Shift key. After selecting the range, press the Enter key. Excel will calculate and display the result.